Today in the morning edition, Anchorage votes. A closer look at the unofficial results, who's likely headed to the Assembly and School Board, and also which ballot measures are falling short. Plus, recognizing certain behaviors in children. It's important to work on that early. On Autism Awareness Day, a Fairbanks analyst shares the challenges Alaskans face and how you can show support. And later, move over outer space from glowing jellyfish to an ancient sponge. Scientists just made some wild deep-sea discoveries below the Antarctic ice as the morning edition starts now. Good morning, everyone, on this Wednesday. Wow, what if you were in the ocean and saw that swimming near your leg?
What's under the sea sometimes feels scarier to me than what might be out in space.
It just brushes against your calf.
Why does jellyfish look like a spider?
I don't know, exactly.
Or, maybe that was the jellyfish. I'm not quite certain.
And it glows in the dark.
We are waking up this morning. Another warm day expected across South Central. To the north, though, winter still winning out. 32 degrees in Fairbanks. This is a live look out towards University Avenue. We've got ongoing snow showers that remain with us. And like we've been talking about the past couple of days, we're still seeing some light areas of wintry mix that are embedded for parts of the interior. Now, the bulk of the precip has come to an end for many areas. We're still holding on to some of that light snowfall, and we could pick up a couple of more inches of accumulation for parts of the interior throughout the remainder of your Wednesday. There is that band of some snow that we're continuing to watch, and you can see some localized areas of rain that's embedded within that snow, which will lead to those hazardous road conditions for the interior. So just take it easy the next couple of days as we continue to see this warm weather pattern. In fact, by week's end, we're going to be talking about those temperatures climbing into the mid-40s. So all of this snow that we're seeing will become a bit more slushy on the roadways, and we will see those hazardous road conditions remain. So that snow total forecast, you can see just a couple of more inches looking possible, particularly for Fairbanks out towards Eielson Air Force Base and some of those higher elevations. The rest of the interior may just see some of that light snow accumulation continue through the remainder of today into early tomorrow morning. So winter weather still remaining to the north. We've got 29 degrees in Nome, 15 in Kotzebue, 41 here in Anchorage, 31 in Juneau, and then we've got some areas of freezing fog as you head out towards the Aleutians with those temperatures sitting near freezing. It's going to be another beautiful day across South Central. We'll likely see those temperatures topping out in the 50s. Yesterday, we did manage to climb officially into the lower 50s. We also hit a brand new record high. I'll have more on that and what to expect as the week draws to a close in that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
The ballots are in, and the early message from Anchorage voters is loud and clear after a big municipal election night. Preliminary results show voters may be open to spending more, even if it means higher property taxes.
And while half the seats on the Anchorage Assembly were up for grabs, incumbents had a strong showing. We begin our coverage with the races that could shape the balance of power at City Hall,
including the two incumbent members keeping their seats if the early numbers hold. That includes incumbent Daniel Vollen leading with a little over 56% of the vote. Daniel George has a little under 30%, and Nick Danger has about 8.5%. In West Anchorage, our second incumbent, that's Cameron Perez Verdia, winning with a little more than 65% for District 3. And the race for the Chugiak Eagle River seat is one to watch closely. So far, Jared Gerker, just over 50% of the vote. Gerker, a conservative who ran for state senate last year, is a familiar name to voters. And this result, it could play a key role in shifting the Assembly's balance of power. And then in Midtown, you have Aaron Baldwin Day is leading with more than 63% over former Assembly member Don Smith for that seat in District 4. East Anchorage, Yarrow Silvers leads with 53% against her two opponents, who are hovering right around 23%. And then finally in South Anchorage, Keith McCormick is pulling away with handily over 91% of the vote. Now, so far, the Municipal Division of Elections, it is reporting a little more than 38,000 ballots that have been returned. So again, these are early unofficial results that might shift a little bit. And of course, we will continue to update the numbers at alaskasnewssource.com.
From the Assembly races to education, Proposition 1 to pay $63 million for school safety improvements is close, but passing right now with about 51% voting yes. The Anchorage School Board, like many districts across Alaska, faced tough budget decisions this year, and so far voters seem to be backing those choices. Early returns show both incumbents holding strong leads. Margot Bellamy is ahead with over 58% of the vote to Alexander Rosales' 41.9%. If that holds, she'll begin her third term, having previously served as board president. Racing for that other seat on the school board, incumbent Kelly Lessons also leads 58-41 over challenger Mark Anthony Cox, positioning her for a second full term. Only about 16% of all possible votes are in so far. In non-mayoral election years, turnout for school board races typically reaches 27%, meaning roughly 25,000 more ballots still could come in.
The education proposition, not the only one that is passing. Early votes trending toward Anchorage property taxes likely increasing. So far, Proposition 10, it is passing with 59% of the vote. That is for Anchorage roads and drainage improvements, as well as repairing the municipality's fleet. The $3 million special tax levy to replace police vehicles is failing, with 53% of voters saying no. It is the only public safety measure not gaining voter approval so far. And voters saying yes to $3 million in upgrades to Anchorage Police Department systems. That is going by 51%. And the bond to replace ambulances and upgrade safety systems, that is also passing by 56%. Replace fire engine trucks, fire water tenders for a total of about $2 million. That is passing with 63% of the vote.
Switching to Parks and Recreation, Prop 3 includes Anchorage Town Square upgrades along with multiple park and trail upgrades, passing by 54%. New Chugach State Park overflow parking also passing now by 53%. And infrastructure having a good night too. $33 million in road and storm drain upgrades, passing with about 60% of the vote right now. Repairs for Anchorage libraries and the senior center also passing right now with 57% voting in favor. If results hold, property taxes could rise by about $40 for every $100,000 in assessed value based on city and school district estimates.
And also a quick note, early numbers show Girdwood voters are rejecting road upgrades. You can find all of those results on our website and, of course, on our mobile app. And a big election night nationally after Elon Musk spent millions on the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Voters elected the candidate Musk tried to defeat.
Susan Crawford's victory allows liberals to maintain their narrow majority on the battleground state's highest court. She defeats the state former attorney general who Musk supported. New this morning, in just a few hours, the White House is hosting what it calls the Make America Wealthy Again event. That's when President Trump says he'll announce sweeping new tariffs.
He hails today as Liberation Day, while economists fear the measures could lead to higher prices. Amy Kiley previews the unveiling.
The president wants to ensure that all Americans make out well, particularly Main Street. That's the focus of these tariffs.
Today, President Donald Trump says he'll transform global trade with sweeping new tariffs. The White House says they will take effect immediately. It's still unclear what the new tariffs entail. What is clear is U.S. businesses would have to pay them. The Trump administration says altogether its tariffs could bring in $6 trillion of revenue over a decade. That would effectively be the largest tax increase in U.S. history, even adjusted for inflation.
I think all of us are anxious to see and will wait to see what the president actually comes out with.
The Senate is set to vote on a resolution aimed at blocking the tariffs on Canadian goods. Republican Senator Rand Paul is co-sponsoring it, along with several Democrats.
You're going to pay more for groceries because we bring in an awful lot of agricultural products.
Economists say tariffs benefit certain domestic manufacturers by landing them more business. On the flip side, that's why they can hurt international producers. Some countries say they're preparing to retaliate while hoping for new trade deals.
We will approach these negotiations from a position of strength. Europe holds a lot of cards.
Measures are taken because measures are taken on the other side, but the dialogue must continue.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Even before we learn the Liberation Day details of President Trump's new tariff plans, the White House press secretary left the door open to potential changes, saying the president is always up to take a phone call and negotiate, but is focused on fixing wrongs of the past and showing American workers have a fair shake.
President Trump has also imposed a 25% tariff on Canadian softwood lumber imports, aiming to bolster U.S. lumber production. This move is expected to increase lumber prices, thereby raising construction costs and potentially affecting housing affordability. Additionally, these tariffs may disrupt the supply chain for products like toilet paper, as U.S. manufacturers rely heavily on Canadian softwood pulp. Coming up, spreading awareness and breaking down misconceptions.
It's Autism Awareness Day, how you can help spread the word and support inclusion in your community. Our health report is next.
Record highs yesterday across South Central. Snow continues to the north. I'll have more on that, what to expect as the week draws to a close. But first, at sunrise, 7:17 in Anchorage, 6:20 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Back here, 13 minutes past the hour.
Yeah, it's felt pretty nice over the past few days, Aaron. What's in the forecast?
Well, we were seeing some record highs yesterday, and if you remember yesterday morning, we were talking about there will be parts of South Central that managed to climb into the lower 50s, and Anchorage actually happened to be one of those. We made it to 52 degrees, which beat out the old record of 51 set back in 1995. Our normal high is 38 degrees. Now, this is the earliest 50-degree reading we've seen since about 2019, when we saw those 50-degree readings recorded back in late March. And we do have that potential once again later today to see those temperatures climbing into the 50s. So as we continue to march through spring, we've already begun spring. We've already hit our first 50-degree reading, and our last recorded snowfall on record for the spring months is right around May 22nd. And it does look likely that we are going to continue to hold on to this warm weather pattern, and once again expecting those temperatures to top out in the upper 40s and the lower 50s across South Central. There is the potential that Anchorage could once again later this afternoon climb into the lower 50s. So we'll be watching for that. Temperatures have managed to overachieve by about 3 to 5 degrees each afternoon. We're still up under clear skies across South Central, even out towards Southeast. We're going to maintain this hold for the next couple of days, although overnight into tomorrow, we will see a bit more cloud coverage increasing across South Central. Still expected to see some peaks of sunshine across the region. While we do stay dry to close out this week, we will be watching some showers by the weekend. We're also going to be watching the potential for a heavy snowfall out towards parts of the eastern Aleutians, where we could see the potential for up to a foot, if not more, of that snow accumulation as we go from Thursday on into your weekend. And there is that chance for some rain to increase as we open the Gulf waters up for more active weather to make a return to the region. So we'll be watching for some rain to increase across South Central as the weekend approaches. Today, another beautiful one across Southeast with those temperatures warming into the low to mid 50s for you. You'll hold on to that sunny weather into your Thursday as well. And then as we begin to welcome in Friday on into next week, you see that rain peaking back in or building back in across the panhandle. Temperatures nosing their way back into the upper 40s, still fairly warm though, so we'll be watching for that. Meanwhile, across South Central, another day where those temperatures could warm into the 50s. Yesterday, Kodiak climbed into the lower 60s, so don't be surprised if we manage to see those temperatures warm about 3 to 5 degrees above what the actual forecast is showing as we continue to hold on to this warm weather pattern. 40s and 50s from Prince William Sound into the Copper River Basin. Enjoy the sunshine that we will see, because clouds will thicken up here over the next couple of days with those rain showers arriving into the weekend. 51 in Willow, 55 degrees in Wasilla. You can see even those overnight lows beginning to warm their way near 40 degrees. So we've got this warm weather pattern staying with us. We will make it to 40 today in Fairbanks with some rain transition or snow transitioning to rain. 3 degrees in Utqiagvik, 31 in Nome. Out towards the Aleutians, things fairly quiet today, but we are watching that snow and rain increasing as we welcome in the coming days. We'll have more on that coming up later in the show. But as far as that 7-day forecast, you can see mid to upper 40s with some lower 50s across South Central the next couple of days. There's those showers arriving as the weekend arrives. We could see some showers as early as Friday night. We'll be watching for that. Overall, warm weather staying with us.
All right, looks good. Thanks, Aaron. Well, Democratic attorneys general from 23 states in D.C., they are suing the Trump administration to block $12 billion in public health funding cuts. The lawsuit claims the rollback led by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is illegal and could cost thousands of healthcare jobs. It seeks to immediately stop the cuts.
A new study suggests not getting enough of the right kind of sleep may increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease. The two critical sleep stages are slow wave sleep and rapid eye movement or REM sleep. Experts say most adults should spend between 20 and 25% of their night in each. The study found not spending enough time in these two stages may hasten the deterioration of parts of the brain associated with Alzheimer's.
It's Autism Awareness Day, which seeks to not only promote awareness of the disorder, but also celebrate those that have autism.
Adrian Peterson explains the challenges faced by those that have it in this morning's health report.
Autism spectrum disorder, commonly shortened to autism, is a cognitive disorder primarily impacting communication skills and behaviors, according to Jenna Farley, an assistant behavior analyst in Fairbanks. Farley says while it primarily impacts communication skills, it can also display with other symptoms. According to the CDC, those symptoms can include hyperactive and repetitive behaviors.
For us, seeing certain behaviors as children, it's really important to work on that when they're kids because they don't necessarily go away when they're adults.
While folks such as Farley work to help those with autism function better in society, Autism Awareness Day promotes others to be inclusive of those with the disorder. Farley says long-term treatment is lacking in Alaska, however.
There's not a lot of adult services available, especially through insurance and things like that.
To help spread awareness and support on Autism Awareness Day, Farley says folks can wear blue symbolizing calmness and acceptance. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
If you're looking to get involved locally, there's an autism acceptance and awareness walk later this month on the 26th from 9 a.m. to noon.
It's hosted by the Alaska Autism Resource Center. It is free and it kicks off at the Special Olympics Alaska headquarters in Mountain View.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.